Let's try this again, shall we? Day-night doubleheader. Game 3 of the series is Game 1 today. Reds and the Nats getting together. And, yeah, we got the bracing presidents, we got fans all hanging out together. And the Nats have the same lineup that Davey Martinez posted yesterday, so why not? Last 3 games, all wins on this homestand. The Nats have won 6 out of 8. The runs, the hits, the doubles, et cetera, all coming. Guys all over the bases and making good things happen. And I think that's taken some of the pressure off the starting pitchers as well. And suddenly our guys have won 6 out of 8.
They're playing good baseball. That's the key, right? We said consistently you need to play good baseball. But when you talk about everything, guys getting healthy, the offense is clicking. It all starts with starting pitching. The starting pitching's been lights out.
So the Nats have been outstanding on the homestand. And let's look at what Bryce Harper's been doing, because since the All-Star break and the Home Run Derby win, when he admits he really fed off the crowd, he's been outstanding.
Well, he just looks more relaxed to me, like he's not trying too hard. He's trying easy all of a sudden. The head's still. He's staying in his stance a little bit longer. He's balanced throughout his swing. And the numbers bear that out. 359 since the All-Star break. 4 doubles, 3 home runs. 13 runs driven in. He's walked 9 times. He's even stole 3 bases along the way. So he's been hitting the ball. 480 on base percentage, 692 slugging percentage. Bryce Harper's locked in, and we've been saying it all year. As Bryce goes, so goes the Nats. That's the price of being a superstar. If he locks in, they'll win the division.
And he's a table clearer. One of the table setters, hot as well, and that's Trey Turner up at the top of the lineup. 7 for 14 on the homestand. He's driven in 4, scored 8, and he's stolen 2 bases in 3 consecutive games. If he does it again today, that's a really interesting Major League record we'll talk about. Hitting .412 over his last 7 games. So Trey and Harp getting it done. Game 1 of the doubleheader straight ahead. By PNC Bank. There's no better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day. By Night Point Systems. They offer the technology you need when you need it. And by Long Fence, start living the difference. Visit longfence.com today to schedule your free in-home estimates. Business brisk at the team store. Getting ready for a couple here today. Bright sunshine at the ballpark. That's the good news. Still kind of humid, but nothing like the 90% plus we had here on Thursday night. So 83 at game time. Reds are 3rd in the league in hitting. They're 5th in runs. They got a good offensive ball club. This guy leads the way, Eugenio Suarez. So his RBI total right up at the top of the league, right there with Javi Baez, who started the day 1 ahead of him. He missed some games back in April, but he still hit 25 and driven in 83. Gio's had good success against the Reds. Beat them first weekend of the season, and he's 5-2 career.
Yeah, throw a 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball. Got good sink on it. Opponent's hitting .312 against the 2-seamer, .246 against the curveball, .265 against the changeup. So 6th in the National League for a left-handed pitcher with an 8.11 strikeout per 9. And he went strong 7 last start, 28th against Miami. 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 4 Marlins, walked 4 Marlins through 114 pitches last time out. Here we go. 2 games in 1 day. What more do you want? Let's play ball.
Jose Peraza to lead off for the Reds. And he's at .283. Rendon and Zimmerman both in their baselines. Ryan's way off the first base bag. And Gio's first one well outside. We're underway, a minute late at 1:06. Nats at home, 26-25. They won 7 of the last 9 home games. 6 out of 8 overall. And that ball up the middle for a base hit.
All right, here's the defense in game 1 for the Nats. Soto, Harper, Eaton, the outfield. Turner, Murphy up the middle. Rendon, Zimmerman at the corners. Matt Wieters behind the plate. Ryan Zimmerman back at first base today.
That's a good base runner over there. Peraza 17 out of 19. Doesn't reside up near the league leaders, but he is number 8 in the National League in steals. And here's Phillip Ervin, the left fielder. In Jim Riggleman's original lineup yesterday against Gio, he had Joey Votto batting 2nd. He moved some things around for the day game today, and our ex-skipper has Joey Votto on deck right now. And that breaking ball bouncing into Matt Wieters, 2-0. Ervin, 31 games, 21 hits, hitting .296.
Good block, keeping the double play in order. Good glove snag, I should say.
Third base side of that pitching rubber, runner on the move, and that's a swing, a foul. And looks like part of it got Matt Wieters.
Yeah, Manny Gonzalez going to give Matt a second to shake it off, because Manny knows that Matt just blocked the ball that might have hit him. So that's the payback right there.
And Manny Gonzalez gets the evening off after this. Home plate umpires don't work both ends of a doubleheader anymore. Andy Flesher, who was originally at first base last night, should get the call for the plate tonight, and he's off for game one. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Mark Wegner umpiring over there, watching the runner and Zimmerman.
So pitch before, the backswing got Matt, right? Right in the back. And he's been taking some foul tips directly to the mask, you remember the other night against the Reds. So
they've got the runner picked off. He's going to keep on going. Zimmerman's low throw picked by Turner well, and it's a 1-3-6 on the caught stealing. Ryan got rid of it in a hurry.
yeah, Peraza just betting that Gio's not going to throw over again. He did. Zimmerman met the throw, got rid of it quick. And Trey Turner did a nice job of pulling the ball across and slapping the tag on Peraza right before his foot got to the bag. So nice job, everybody, on that play. Gio, Zim, and Turner.
2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out now. Back to the windup goes Gio. Delivers a strike and a ball hammered to right, and a base hit on a hop to Adam Eaton. 2 batters, 2 hits. And now Joey Votto. Well, remember, month of July, not good numbers by the Nats starters. They have turned it around now. Max, of course, leading the way. Tanner Roark has joined the parade. Hellickson's been solid. Gio had a good outing recently on the road against the Pirates. And, of course, Tommy Milone coming up big a couple of times. So things looking a whole lot better than they did just about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. Joey Votto and Gio have had some good battles. Curveball away, 9 for 24, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, 3 homers. Nats had him 0 for 2 with a pair of walks on Thursday night in the 10-4 Max Scherzer 15th win of the year. Two 2-0. Oh, pardon me, a strike call. Manny Gonzalez will let you know. Inside edge with the number 1, 1-2.
Not the spot he wanted it, but it worked out nicely either way. So now he's ahead. Does he go to that curveball again, and does he throw it for a strike? Oh, fastball away here.
Joey Votto choked up, 2 strikes, spread out. And he'll check his swing and drop one into left field for a base hit. They've gone up the middle to right and now to left for 3 singles.
Yeah, but hands in the right place. You talk about playing Pepper with 2 strikes. He just kind of bumps one to left field with a half swing. He'll take it. So 3 knocks in a row for the Reds to start this one up. Joey Votto with an excuse me hit to left, but the barrel was controlled because he was choked up on the bat, and that allowed him to stay on top of that and drop it into left.
His 110th hit of the year. Here's Suarez. He's their big bopper this year with 25 and 83, the power numbers. 9th in the league, actually tied for 8th with Alberto Almora Jr. of the Cubs, right at 300.
Yeah, the changeup is the ground ball pitch for Gio a lot, and that two-seam fastball down and away, and he's probably thinking about the double play right here and keeping the ball down.
Trying to find another out somewhere other than home plate, and back Phillip Ervin. Some kind of crackle on that 91 fastball. So we mentioned the 5-2 record, 10 starts, under 2.5 the ERA. In his career, they've hit under 200 against him. He strikes them out a lot, keeping it in the yard, which is something Gio usually does. Straight up stance, bat horizontal. 1-1 pitch, up and away. Suarez just had his 27th birthday, July 18th. 26 and 82 for the Reds last year. 21 and 70 the season before that. So he's in his 4th major league season and becoming one of the good young sluggers in this league. Now it's ball 3. Fans exhorting Gio here.
Yeah, you can hear him say, "Come on, Gio, let's go."
Bases loaded.
Yeah, last thing Dave Martinez and Derek Lilliquist want to see is a short outing in the first game of a doubleheader. So Gio, who always seems to find a way to wiggle out of trouble, needs to right here in the top of the first. 170 average against with runners in scoring position here. That's the 7th best in the National League, and he's going to have to use that stat right here, right now.
Here's 26-year-old infielder Brandon Dixon. Gio has come out of the gate quickly this year. Dixon 8 hits and 43 at bats, and he takes a strike. First time he faces Gonzalez.
In case you missed his last start, he deliberately slowed down his tempo. He was very deliberate against the Marlins on the 28th. Sometimes he gets going too fast and it gets away from him, but you can see he's doing the same thing here today. It's a good pitch.
Yeah, the changeup. Close, 1-1.
Close, trying to get the grounder with this pitch. Yeah, he's not finishing.
And this is a big pitch now coming. Bases loaded, 1 out, 2-1.
He's not letting it rip right now. He's kind of feeling for it. Maybe it's a mechanical thing. Maybe it's something he's feeling. But right now, he's kind of aiming the ball. He's at his best when he doesn't think and he just lets it fly.
Dixon to third. Rendon to second. And not able to do much with it, Daniel Murphy. Reds take a 1-0 lead on the fielder's choice grounder.
Yeah, I think if Anthony goes to the bag right there and throws it to first, it's not a double play. He made the right decision. The ball took him to his left just a little bit. Well, it was kind of right at him looking at it again, and Murph just couldn't get out of his glove. I don't know if he had him if he did, but we'll never know. Backing away from the bag. Tough getting the grip. Took a long time, and that allowed the double play not to be completed.
Number 7 batter for the Reds is their catcher, Curt Casali. .291 hitter in 23 games this year. And that one bouncing, and Wieters blocks it.
You know, I think in the past when you've seen Gio speed up his tempo, it's so he doesn't think. And he just goes out there and becomes an athlete and gets going real fast and has a nice tempo going. So I think there's a happy medium between the real slow tempo and slowing it down and the too fast letting it get away from you. So somewhere in between you think would be ideal for Gio.
And Casali takes one outside, 2-0. Three and one. Only ball game in baseball until 2:30 when the Cubs host San Diego. All the other action in the National League East is tonight. So here's a 3-1. And that'll fill things up. Brandon Dixon about to get a head start at first. The other runner, Joey Votto, at third. Ball ripped down to third, and Rendon to Ryan Zimmerman. Could have been a whole lot bigger for the Reds. Gio minimizes the damage. Adam Eaton has been on base 17 of his last 20 games to the tune of 427. Anthony Rendon hitting third behind Adam Eaton and Trey Turner, and ahead of Bryce Harper, Soto, and Murphy. And yesterday, Davey said no slight on Ryan Zimmerman batting seventh. He just likes the way that the lefties are feeding off each other, Harper, Soto, and Murphy. And of course, the other night, Adams was part of that group as well. So this is a long lineup scoring a lot of runs. Anthony DeSclafani for the Reds.
Yeah, 6'1", 195, 28 years old. Last three starts, he's gone 3 1/3, 4 1/3, 4 1/3. And he's given up 12 runs on 16 hits. No decision last start on the 28th against the Phillies. Gave up 3 runs on 5 hits over 4 1/3.
Yeah, he hasn't gone deep into a game in almost 4 weeks. Adam Eaton trying to plug the gap with a long fly ball, but it's going to come back off the lefty's bat to Phillip Ervin for the first out. Turner and Rendon now. DeSclafani against the Nats career, 6 games, 3 starts. But he's only gotten 1 decision, a win, ERA 2.45. Well, Trey had a couple more hits, 4 RBIs, homer, single on Thursday, a couple of steals. So he's now back in the top 10 in the National League with 119 hits. Eaton and Turner facing this righty for the first time. That one right off the end of the barrel. 14 for 34, 412 last 7 games. 452 career against Cincinnati, by the way, in limited exposure, but he's been a big time headache to them, and that went back to that first series of the season at the Great American Ballpark.
Good take. Close. Well, maybe not that close.
3-2 pitch. Upstairs, couldn't get to it. 2 down.
All right, here's your Reds defense for game 1 of the split doubleheader here at Nats Park. Ervin Hamilton Dixon in the outfield. Peraza Herrera up the middle. Suarez Votto at the corners, and Chris Casali behind the plate. Kurt Casale, excuse me, I can't read my own writing.
Anthony Rendon. Single in 5 trips on Thursday, but a key base hit as part of that decisive 6-run second inning. And DeSclafani's coming out, pumping strikes so far. He wants to face Bryce Harper next inning. 0-2 now with 2 outs. And Rendon will pop it up. Short right field. Herrera out, Dixon in. That's Brandon Dixon for the out, and the Nats go quickly. Gio back to work. 1-0 Reds. A lot of innings to go in this one. Second baseman Dilson Herrera. If that sounds familiar, he played against the Nats a few years ago as a Met. In fact, he was involved in the Jay Bruce trade that sent Bruce from the Reds to New York. Last time we saw him in the big leagues in 15 when he hit .211 in 90 games with the Mets. Gio's got a hitter 0-2 here. And the curveball drops in. Herrera couldn't pull the trigger. Gio Gonzalez, 3 retired in a row. Nissan will track it.
Yeah, 3-pitch C, a couple heaters, and watch the curveball start by the SAIC sign and come all the way back for a strike. This was in the left-handed batter's box, shaped it nicely, and Herrera could just sit there and watch. That's all he could do.
Jim Riggleman again bats his pitcher 8th with Billy Hamilton 9th. And DeSclafani this year 4 for 21 with a homer and 4 RBIs. It's a 146 career hitter. You're feeling good about the hook.
Yeah, I got a good feel for it all of a sudden. Tempo's a little bit quicker too here in the second.
And an 0-2 base hit by the pitcher.
All right, the Nationals and the College of William and Mary have teamed up for a William and Mary Day at the ballpark Tuesday, August 7th. So with the purchase of the special ticket, you get a co-branded Tribe and Nationals New Era cap and watch the Nats and the Braves. 7:05 start in that one. Visit nationals.com for details. Don't you have to be super smart to get into that school? No?
I think any school these days.
Yeah.
By the way, and make a note, William and Mary fans and alumni, that's the 7:05 game, part of another split doubleheader the Nats will have here Tuesday with Atlanta. So here's Billy Hamilton, right-handed, 225, 229 overall. He had a walk and a run scored in the 9th inning when the Reds picked up 2 runs on Thursday. 10-4 final. He has hit safely in 7 of his last 9 games.
You talk about 2 of the next 3 scheduled days for the Nats having double headers. That's scary when you're in a pennant race.
Hard to sweep. 3-0 pitch in there. Kevin Gausman for the Braves tonight, the former Oriole. Zach Wheeler at New York. That's 7:10.
Scary when you think about your bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Then you know how you have to use it with 2 games in 1 day, 2 of the next 3 days.
Phillies won their 3rd in a row last night. The Braves won their 5th in a row. So the Nats 5 behind Atlanta, 5.5 back of the Phils. Philadelphia throws Zach Eflin at home against Jose Urena, and the Marlins at 7:05. 3-2, and Billy Hamilton out to short right center. And it's picked off by Adam Eaton, ready to cross paths with Bryce Harper. Important second out. Back to first base,
Yeah.
DeSclafani.
I'm with you. I thought that was a crash coming. From where we're sitting, this looked like a big-time pileup between two guys going full speed. Look at that. And Bryce peeled off at the last second. Thank goodness, because the angle both of these were taken from up here looked like they were headed for disaster, and that's why Adam Eaton's doing the palpitation with his heart underneath his jersey. I'm right with you, Adam.
Top of the order, Jose Peraza. First time through the order, the Reds go 4 for 8 with a walk. One. And Matt Wieters had to fully extend to keep DeSclafani from cruising down to second. Early crowd really into it, trying to urge Gio into the bottom of the second, and this one out of play.
Yeah, we've seen Gio since 2012 in these parts, and when he's at his very best, and I'm talking from 2012 to right now, he commands the inner part of the plate to right-handers with his fastball, and it's usually late in the count, sometimes early in the count to make you aware. But when he's throwing that four-seamer in with 2 strikes and locking right-handed hitters up, that's when he's the most difficult to hit.
And on that one away, he hits it by Ryan Zimmerman. Peraza 2 for 2. DeSclafani stops at second. And now Philip Ervin with 2 down.
And the reason why, Carp, is a right-handed hitter, if I'm thinking about 91, 92 in for a strike, now I have to swing a little bit earlier and get ready a little earlier to get there, to get my barrel to that inner half. It opens up the changeup away. It opens up the 2-seamer away. It opens up the backdoor curveball away. And I haven't really seen him throw that 4-seamer in a while here. I'm going to say 4 or 5 starts for effect.
10 batters, 5 singles. Ervin went the other way first time. Ryan Zimmerman way off the line at first, with Murphy shaded up the middle. Adam Eaton fairly shallow in right. The runner at second is the pitcher.
Sort of in here. See Matt setting up in there. Now you made him aware of it, okay? Maybe it wasn't as in as he wanted it to be, but it was still in or third. And now you go the other side, or you go soft, or double up back in there. You have options now once you establish that.
One and two. This one tailing down the right field line, out of play.
Check out where Matt Wieters is set up. He wants this in, right? And watch where the pitch is. So he's trying to bury it in there. He's trying to fight that across his body to the glove side to get it down in there. Matt Wieters with the right call. He just left it out over. But if he gets it in there, it's going to be tough for Ervin.
One and two again with two aboard. And Ervin with a long ball to left, well out of here, over the bullpen. And it's 4-0 Cincinnati. First of the year for Phillip Ervin.
Yeah, it might have been going back to the fastball in that they wanted in there, and the at-bat continues. He wanted the changeup down and away, and the changeup kind of cut, actually, pulled it back across the plate. So Wieters wanted one fastball down and in. He missed out over. Then he wanted the changeup down and away, and he pulled it back over the plate. And just like that, it's 4-0, based on missing your spot by a couple inches.
Phillip Ervin, 4th career home run. Gio against Joey Votto, who took a check swing first time and got all of it. Base hit down the left field side. So 4 runs on 6 hits and a walk. One to Votto. That was pitch number 50. Little discussion with Votto and Manny Gonzalez there. And right in there. That'll do it for the second. Reds are up big. Bryce Harper, red hot. He'll be the leadoff guy.
Driven in. And maybe, just maybe, the home run derby relaxed Bryce or showed him that he needs to keep his head still. And we got this spot shadowed swing. This is the home run the other night, number 26. And look at the head, staying on plane, staying in the spot shadow. And then the finish, very balanced. Watch the fans in the background now. We showed you the swing, but watch everybody wish this ball out of the yard, and watch the reaction from everybody in Expo in the background. The lady in the white hat is going, "Get out of here, get out of here." And everybody's standing up. Bryce thrilled everybody. The ball bounced onto the concourse.
As if on cue, but he didn't get it. He was up there hacking, first pitch fastball. At the edge of the track, Billy Hamilton. And for DeSclafani, 4 in a row.
Yeah, pretty good swing here, just missed it. But, you know, maybe now you're getting hits, you're seeing the average go up, you're more relaxed at the plate, and you're not shooting out of that crouch when you get back on your back leg as much. Another good swing.
Juan Soto is next. So the 3 lefties, Harper, Soto, Murphy, 4, 5, 6 today. And if you missed it when I mentioned it earlier, this was the lineup. Davey Martinez had posted yesterday prior to the rainout. Reds changed a couple of spots. Since there are 2 games today, Jim Riggleman gave Scooter Gennett game 1 off, left-handed batter against Gio.
Who's got better shades? Davey Martinez or Jim Riggleman? What do we got? Those are cool. I think they're the same. Those are the exact same sunglasses.
Pretty good 0-2 pitch inside. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast.
Yeah, a little front door heater that didn't come back. 2-strike stance. I think Joey Votto's saying, "Man, I dig that stance." Look at this kid, 19. He's spread out and choking up. Yeah.
Soto will drive it to left center. 1 hop into the bullpen. Automatic double for Soto. Came in at .326 his last 12 games.
Yeah, Joey Votto had his hands on his hips. He was watching the 19-year-old run by him. So the 2 strikes, spread him out, choke him up, is appreciated by the All-Star at first base. And it's not like he turns into a slap hitter when he goes into this mode. We've seen him hit, what, 6 of his 13 home runs with 2 strikes, and now a double in the gap. And there goes the no-hitter, Juan Soto style here in the first game.
29th extra base hit of the year. Murphy up there hacking.
Man, can he hit. So much fun to watch. Just the knowledge of the strike zone, the 2-strike approach. It's not like he's just up there brain dead hacking. He's got a plan, he sticks to it, and he's a tough out with 2 strikes. Love it.
And this one by Murphy going foul. So he's over 400 last 19 ball games, 8 walks, 3 homers, starting to drive it deeper, 15 runs batted in. He's also 4 for 8 career against this right-hander.
Any sort of answer here would be big. Close.
Yeah, good fastball. Back Murphy off the plate.
Trying that front hipper. He tried one to Juan Soto. Same pitch here to Murph. Both missed inside. Didn't come all the way back.
And Daniel Murphy to left. It's going to fall in front of Ervin. Soto had to make sure it landed. He advances to third, and the Nats put hits back to back. Ryan Zimmerman next.
Yeah, 2 quality at-bats with 2 strikes. First, Juan Soto, and then Daniel Murphy just staying on the ball. Look at him keep his head. There's the Wade Boggs helicopter finish. We haven't seen that yet this year. Just going down some off-speed away. He threw the 2-seamer in and went, watch this. This is Wade Boggs right here. Check it out. Oh, I love it. That is awesome.
And by the way, a hitting PhD class taking place at first base right now with 2 professors. Zimmerman slow roller. They can't turn 2, and the Nats get on the board. Ryan's 22nd run batted in. Soto home on the 2nd out.
Hey, not the way Ryan was thinking it up when he got into the box, but he'll take the RBI. Good hustle running down to first. And any answer is a good answer, so the Reds score 3 in the top of the 2nd, and the Nats answer with 1 here.
Number 8 hitter Matt Wieters is next. Matt has hit safely 7 of his last 12 games. Just starting to slowly build a better second half. That was batting average over 200. Took a while. A rocket that just goes over the first row into the seats down there.
You know, scoring runs has not been a problem for the Reds this year. It's given up runs. You know, they'll score you 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But then they'll also give up 7 or 8. So this game far from over is my point.
Staff ERA 4.74, only the Marlins higher. Coming into the weekend, giving up the most runs in the National League. Ryan Zimmerman about to take off. Joey Votto backs up behind him. And Wieters out ahead of another hot shot. And this one is popped up. Out behind the mound, third baseman Suarez took charge early. Nats pick up a run, the Soto double, the Murphy single, and Zim the grounder. Coming up tomorrow after the game, it is Senior Stroll the Bases Day presented by Kaiser Permanente. So fans 60 and over can enjoy a post-game stroll with the purchase of a special ticket. And by request, grandchildren with special tickets can also join in. So check into nationals.com. Get all ready for tomorrow. A little stroll after the game around the bases here at Nationals Park. Hydrate. Forecast for tomorrow, sunny, 91. Showing 91 Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So thankfully, some clouds will stay away for the next several days and we can play some baseball around here. Suarez walked first time up. And Gio misses with a fastball up.
You just get the feeling by the way the offense has been lately. If Gio keeps it at 4, he's got a good chance to win this game, and so does his ball club. And you'll hear those things in the dugout, Carb. Hey, keep it right there. We got you. Let's go. Keep it right at 4. We'll win this thing for you.
And Gio will need some quick innings on the way. So, plus 39 on the runs last 9 games at home, averaging just under 10. Skewed, of course, by the 25-run festival the other night. All the other numbers and tons of extra base hits. Plugging gaps, finding the seats. One ball, 2 strikes. And Suarez fooled by the curveball that drops right in. He got Votto looking with a fastball. Suarez with the breaking ball. Nissan.
Yeah, just kind of a roundhouse curveball from Gio. It's been starting way out there in the left-handed batter's box, coming back. He's getting on top of it. Look at all the late break. That's an easy one to give up on if you're a right-handed hitter.
Boy, even in Exmo, you could see some snap at the end of that thing. Here's Brandon Dixon. His ground ball drove in their first inning run. Things even up 2-2 on the ball outside the bag. Some extra playing time in the outfield with Adam Duvall traded to the Braves. Scott Schebler's been on the DL with a shoulder for a while. Close to returning. Dixon, part of a 3-team deal that sent Todd Frazier to the White Sox. Came with Schebler and Peraza to the Reds from the Dodgers. So Cincinnati reaping some pretty good things from that deal. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And this ball high in the air out to deep center. Bryce Harper way back, and all he can do is watch as it lands on the batter's eye. Brandon Dixon, 2nd homer of the year. 2nd of his career, and the Reds get that run right back.
Quick swing, quick bat. And fastball up, and Dixon got underneath it, but just enough to ride it out of here. He actually created some backspin on this with the uppercut swing on the high fastball. Ball traveling far up onto the grass, and just like that, they get the run back. It's 5-1.
Here's Casale, the catcher.
That was an impressive swing.
Reds have hit 115 home runs. They are maybe not as high in the league as you would expect. 11 in that category, but as FP said, they can score runs. They're in the top 5. And in batting average, top 3. One ball, 2 strikes. Gio had given up 10 home runs all season in 114 innings before today. That ball rocked into left. Reds have 8 hits early. Still just 1 out, and here's Dilson Herrera. Gio got him looking first time.
Hey, even the foul balls, you're looking the fastballs up from Gio right now. He's trying to get that thing down, but he's missing right around the belt.
That ball was really diving down and in on him. Herrera fouled it off his foot, lower leg, somewhere down there, up limping. Check in on our minor league insights. No better time to act than today from PNC. Make today the day. Rowdy Reed coming off a suspension, and now his last 10 games with Harrisburg over 350. So he's at the AA level doing great things with the bat. Rowdy Reed. One ball, 2 strikes. Rowdy was suspended 80 games February 7th for violating MLB's drug prevention and treatment program, and he's back and back in the swing for AA. This one high in the air to left. It's going to back up Soto. Ball traveling in this hot air today. Juan's got it just onto the track. for the second out, third inning. Next up, the pitcher, DeSclafani.
I've been telling you, Gio's not happy with his outing, obviously, giving up 5 runs in 2 2/3. But, you know, he still has a chance to win this game. It sounds funny right now, down by 4, but the way they've been swinging in this ballpark today against this team in these conditions, 5 runs ain't winning this game. I'm telling you right now. If he can find a way to bear down and keep it right there, he's got a chance. And more importantly, his ball club has a chance.
Breaking ball for a strike to DeSclafani, who singled up the middle on an 0-2 pitch first time. That was costly because with 2 outs, Peraza singled, and then Philip Ervin hit that 3-run homer. And that was unreachable, 0-2. Brandon Dixon goes deep to center. Reds lead 5-1. Gio will lead off, bottom of the third.
Nice things for fans off the field as well. One of them happened here at Nationals Park yesterday. Last year, a young man named Joey showed up to Citi Fields for a Nationals game. Got the row behind the Nationals dugout with a sign. There you see Joey saying that he's proud to have the same eyes as his role model, Max Scherzer. Like Max, Joey has heterochromia iridum. 1 blue eye, 1 brown eye. And with the help of Max and Erica Scherzer, Joey and his family showed up here at Nationals Park yesterday during batting practice. And for the first time, Joey got to meet his idol in person. Max came over, signed some autographs for Joey, posed for a picture, and chatted with the young man. Max saw him from afar, came over and said, "That's my #1 fan." Was fired up to meet Joey in person, and a cool moment yesterday at the yard, guys.
Well done, Dan. Thank you. And well done, Max Scherzer. Winning fans around baseball, 100,000 at a time.
Yeah, it's very cool. You would imagine if you had that as a kid, it might be tough, right? Kids tease you, and it's all you have to do nowadays is say, hey, Max Scherzer has the same thing I do, and that ends it right there.
There we go. 2-0 to Gio. 2 hits, 2 sacrifice bunts this year. That's a DeSclafani fastball to the inner edge. He came out of his first 2 innings, 30 pitches, 21 strikes, so run on 2 hits. Fastball, 2-2.
It's a good 2-1 act. Let it rip, Gio. It's been a while since Gio's hit a tater.
Yeah, he had a streak of 3 consecutive years with 1. That is strikeout number 2 for DeSclafani. Nats go 2 for 9 first time around. The 2019 Nationals pet calendar is available, and you got to take this one.
Yeah, nationals.com/pet calendar. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's Sean Doolittle with the Doberman Pinscher, I believe. Where's Matt Wieters? Does he have cats this year?
Lower right.
Yeah, there he is. That's Matt Wieters with a rabbit on his shoulder. So, yeah, get your pet calendar. Good stuff. I can't wait to see that. Yeah. Proceeds benefit the Humane Rescue Alliance, and that's the most important thing there. Doesn't matter what kind of dog, cat, or rabbit you have.
Here's Adam Eaton. Fly ball to left first time up.
You know, I have the pet turtle, Spanky, named after Adam Eaton because I found it last year in the parking lot the day he got hurt, or the day after he got hurt. So I Googled red-eared slider last night, Carp. I found out that my turtle is a female, and I've had it for over a year. So I don't know what to do. Do I keep the Spanky name, or do I change her name?
Spanky works for me.
Yeah, I think. But I didn't get asked to be on the pet calendar with Spanky, and I'm deeply offended. Turtles are pets too.
3 balls, 1 strike to Adam. And this one in the air out to center. Billy Hamilton.
You could have turtles in the park and play like a 30-inning game. It'd be perfect. Trey Turner's locked in, folks. Thursday, check it out. He did everything in this game. You name it, he did it. Base hits, RBIs, stolen bases, great plays at shortstop. Watch Trey run, one of our favorite parts. And then watch Trey go deep, even more cool. Made some nifty plays at short, too, on top of everything we just showed you. So his game has been on point big time. I don't know what, the last couple weeks?
Yeah, well, came in today, last 7 games over 400. He's going to lay down a bunt, try to speed his way. DeSclafani gets him with a good pickup and a throw. Not easy to do. Nats go 1-2-3. Reds into the middle innings by 4. In this country and enjoy our freedoms. So we turn that right back with our Navy Federal Credit Union Troop Recognition, proudly serving the Armed Forces, veterans, and their families for over 80 years. Gio Gonzalez threw 375 pitches, 50 strikes. On an afternoon when the flag's moving just a bit with that breeze from the left field corner over toward the right side. Billy Hamilton leads off, fly ball to right first time, and this guy will have some corner infielders playing on the grass to start. And Gio ahead 0-2.
Hamilton 225 from the right side, 231 from the left side, so not a big difference at all.
Out to short. Trey Turner, jump throw, bullet. And he had to get that as quick as he did because Hamilton was almost there. Good play.
Yeah, you got to get rid of it quick with Billy running, right? So Trey Turner playing shallow to start, charges it, the jump throw to get more on it, and throws a strike to Ryan. Nice play.
Top of the order for the Reds now. Peraza and Ervin, a combined 4 for 4. Jose a base hit up the middle to start the game and a base hit to right. And now he's gone 3 for 3 with a shot to right center. Digging for 2. Even if that ball's picked up cleanly, he's on second base. Next up is Ervin.
They have a day, 3 hits, and it's the 4th inning.
9 Cincinnati hits now.
If it were Pete Rose and he was 3 for 3 in the 4th inning, the first game of a doubleheader, he would be thinking to himself, I'm getting 12 hits today. That's how he thought. He was never satisfied.
Murphy hanging around second, now retreats a bit on the fastball up to 26-year-old Philip Ervin, former first rounder by the Reds 5 years ago out of Samford University in his native Alabama. That school's in Birmingham. Time had been requested by Matt Wieters prior to that. Manny Gonzalez pointing to the Nats catcher. And Peraza mentioned his speed when he got on in the first. 17 out of 20. Gio picked him off first time. He kept going to second, and Ryan Zimmerman threw him out.
Crossed him up.
Yeah, that ball off the backhand reach by Wieters. And over to third, Peraza easily.
That's a big cross up. Now the Reds have a chance to make it 6-1 without getting a hit. Now Wieters going for the high fastball here, and the ball came back. The curve might have been a strike. No way you get the call when that happens. So don't know whose fault it was, but it's a big 90 feet for the Reds.
Yeah, ruled a pass ball. 2-0 infield in. Ervin takes a strike. Reds at least 2 hits in each of the first 3 innings. And that's a curveball picked off by Wieters, but it's ball 3 with Joey Votto on deck. Or should I say halfway between the on-deck circle and the plate. He just now moved over to the left. There he goes back where he was before. Ball 4. Gio, second walk.
Some action down in the Nats bullpen now. Derek Lilliquist on the phone. Gio needs a ground ball right here, right now. Joey Votto in these situations, we've seen him in the past, likes to hit fly balls to left field. He'll try to let the ball get deep here, and he's thinking about hitting something to Juan Soto.
Wander Suero is up. Nats will be able to add Austin Voth to the bullpen tonight. The Reds will add a right-hander, Austin Bryce, as the 26th players for the nightcap. Well, nothing's come easy for Gio today, has it? Long innings. First 3 batters in the game hit safely. The caught stealing helped keep it to 1 run in the first. Yeah, you would think Joey Votto's number would be a lot higher than that. 12 out of 27. He's driven in 52 runs this year. 343, 6th in the league with runners in scoring position. Wieters moved outside, and that ball came back over the inner half. Called strike. Turner, Murphy communicating up the middle. They'd love a ground ball here. Votto lays off the curve, 2-1.
Probably not going to bite on the curveball until he has to with 2 strikes, because he's thinking the other way. What does that mean? Well, he's letting the ball travel. He's keeping the front side closed. He's not going to fly open on anything slow.
Ball 3.
Yeah, he's not swinging at that because the game plan dictates. If he's thinking pull right there, Carp, and he wants to hit a 3-run home run, he might swing at that 2-1, but he's not.
Right-handed danger on deck, and here's pitch number 90. Couldn't get to the high heater. Ervin, pretty good lead at first. Holding. Joey Votto again takes one down the middle like he did last time. That one may be a little bit toward the outer half, and a big out for Gio.
Yeah, you don't see that too often. Joey Votto taking called thirds on fastballs with tons of plate. Maybe guessing wrong, thinking he was getting the curveball. He's mad at himself right now. I don't think he's mad at Manny Gonzalez at all. That was a good pitch.
Now 2 outs, runners at the corners. He got Suarez looking last time. He started. Mark Wegner says he stopped. It's 2-0.
Check it out from the side. It looked like he went initially. Let's see it again. Close. Looked like Wegner got it right.
And a shot up the middle. Cincinnati will lead 6-1 as Suarez drives in his 84th run. They've scored in every inning, and Gio is done for the day. Pitch count up into the 90s. 3 2/3. And we invite you to choose a winning team for your vehicle. Jiffy Lube for value and convenience. JiffyLubeDC.com. First game of a doubleheader, and the Nats need lots of bullpen outs now. Just recalled this week. 17 big league appearances. 15 hits, 20 strikeouts in 21 innings so far, and the Reds will see him live for the first time. Brandon Dixon, RBI grounder and a solo homer to center.
A fastball, cutter, curve for Wander. The first game of a double hitter, Davey Martinez liking Suero's length. That's why they called him back up, and they're going to need it right here, right now.
So Dixon, couple of big swings. He's in the hole 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3 pretty good fastballs thrown by Brandon Dixon. Reds pick up another and lead by 5. The 4th inning of Nationals baseball brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota. Abe late to the party coming out of the tunnel. Visit Geico.com. See how much you could save. Teddy's got it right. We used to chant "Let Teddy win." Now it's "Let Teddy lose." He's only won 2 all year. Number 16 for Tom. George has 18. Abe has 15.
George was scuffling. Did you see that? I think he should be put on the 10-day. Did not look good. Big time hitch in his giddy up.
Anthony Rendon fly ball to right. I got DeSclafani's day off to a good start when he had Eaton, Turner, and Rendon on 11 pitches in the first inning. That ball cutting to the outer edge. Outer edge of what? 0-2. So Anthony's got to be swinging. Dixon took a step in, then had to backtrack.
All right, I see what you're doing here. DC Lexus dealers, they donate $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 home runs hit by the Nats this year. Lexus, experience amazing. StatCast this bad boy. 437, a one hopper on the concourse. I think that home run got a cheeseburger at Shake Shack when it was all said and done. And Bryce Harper had his 26th tater of the year.
First pitch swinging first time.
DeSclafani's only allowed one home run in his last 8 starts. That's one shy of the longest streak this season.
Bryce that went to the edge of the track first time up. Shift on. Herrera at 20 feet into right field. DeSclafani misses. 2-1.
And 5 of those starts were in his own ballpark, so that makes that number even more impressive. See, he's seeing it now. You see that? He's just not up there swinging with the head moving all over. He's spitting on pitches again, and that might be the best sign of all.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. Bryce thought it might have been up and in, but he heard it called strike 2. A little tailback action there.
He'd been trying this pitch all day to lefties. Did he finally get one to run all the way back? According to PitchCast, he did.
Ball out. Bryce Harper and Joey Votto have 173 walks between them. They'll meet at first base right now on Bryce's 88th.
You know who's locked in right now is Manny Gonzalez. He's having a nice game beyond the plate. He hasn't missed one on PitchCast all day. Does he get the second game off?
Yes. According to the rotation.
Be over at Salt Line crushing beers. I like it.
Andy Fletcher, according to the rotation, would be the home plate umpire tonight, getting this game off. Soto, impressive double to left center. How many times has that happened this year? Looking at Juan's extra base hits now, 15 doubles, a triple, and 13 home runs. That's why his slugging percentage is up around .560. On base percentage over .420 on the year now. Big swing. 2-2.
Well, now he's going to choke up, spread out, and get down in there with the pitches.
And the 2-2 is lashed up the middle. Harper easy trip to third. Soto will go a third of the way to second, put on the brakes and head back after another fantastic at bat.
He's just so good. And I always say, why does he just get up there in the 2-strike approach? Because he's so good with it. DeSclafani throws the curveball 5% of the time. Opponents are hitting .444 against it, and that's what he tried to trick Juan Soto with. And Juan was thinking about to. But another good at-bat for Soto, another base hit for Soto, both with 2 strikes.
Murphy base hit to left field first time. Nationals a big-time opportunity here in the 4th to bite into that deficit. Last 20 games, Murphy now hitting right around .415. His base hit set up the Nats run back in the 2nd. Ground ball to second. Herrera, Peraza, and the Reds turned the inning-ending 4-6-3 double play. The Nats down by 5. Ryan Zimmerman's ground ball, the only Nat RBI of the day. Ervin's come up big for the Reds, a 3-run homer. Brandon Dixon has homered. Gio knocked out in the 4th. And the Nats have a long road back, and here we are in the top of the 5th inning. Casali, Herrera, and then DeSclafani. Wander Suero threw 4 pitches, 3 strikes to whiff Brandon Dixon, ending the 4th inning. On a pitch boring in. Some O's from behind the plate by fans. That was the sound of the ball on the bat and the foul. That's foul. Hit fair and then made a left turn before the bag. Chad Whitson on the call down there. MLB.TV available now at a lower price, $59.99. Every out-of-market regular season game, free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout, other restrictions apply. To take advantage, it's a special offer. MLB.TV.
So you remember like 2014 or 15, Carp, when Anthony Rendon was hitting 280 all year and you felt like, hey, he's hitting 330. How is he hitting 280? You feel the same about Juan Soto right now. With the 2 hits today, he's hitting 313. But you feel like he's hitting 350. And why is that? He's giving you quality at-bats every single time. So the walks on top of the hits, and even though the average says 313, he just every single time up there, as Murph puts it, is engaged in every single pitch. And the 313 seems like, I don't know, 360 right now. It's just weird. And it was the same for Anthony in either 14 or 15. You couldn't believe he was hitting 285. It seemed like 330.
Soto's on base percentage right now is right at .430. That's a called third strike. Suero known for cutting the ball kind of the other way, right under the hitter's hands.
Yeah, front door cutter, right? Starts it off the plate in and runs it back. Good frame by Wieters, gets the call.
Two batters, 2 strikeouts.
The same with Rendon, Carp. He just gave you so many quality at-bats, and I think it was 15.
Dilson Herrera, strikeout and a fly. And this one out to left center. Bryce Harper tracking it. You can see his sunglasses blazing in the bright light here at the ballpark today, and that's out number 2, and now it's DeSclafani. Anthony Rendon in 2014 hit .287, on base percentage .351, 21 homers, 83 RBIs.
Is that when he finished 5th in the MVP, I believe?
It was. 39 doubles. And he was all of 23 when that season started.
Now he's all grown up and he's a dad.
Two balls, no strikes to DeSclafani. Got his 5th hit of the year here today, and it led to a 3-run second inning.
You know, it just seemed with Gio today, and as a hitter you get this way, Carp, you get caught in between. What does that mean? Well, you're not ready for the fastball, you're in front of the curveball, you're in between. And for Gio Gonzalez today, it seemed like he was in between with his tempo, whether it was going to be slow or fast, whether he was going to use his fastball, just really kind of not committed to the tempo or maybe the pitch. And I think that cost him eventually, or when it was all said and done.
1-2-3. Wander Suero trying to settle this day down. Yeah, it's Saturday, so smile. It's brought to you by Dominion National, providing
of his career, but he's come off the disabled list really locked in. Coming into today, hitting .292 with 4 of his 7 hits for extra bases. I was talking to hitting coach Kevin Long about Zim the other day, and he said he's making good decisions. He's really short and compact with his swing, but the biggest thing is he's on time. K. Long saying that there were stretches earlier this season where plain and simple Zim was late. He was late getting ready and late getting into his hitting position, and it caused some problems for him. But he says, guys, that Zim's been early with that leg kick and has been on time over the last week plus since coming off the DL.
All right, thank you, Dan. RBI grounder today. Of course, this week he attained the Nationals' all-time record. Nationals Expos franchise for hits.
Yep.
He'll turn away from that one.
Yeah, what Dan's talking about being on time is when all the stuff Zim does is you look at the numbers. Is early and slow. When you're early and slow with the leg kick, it keeps your head still. It allows you to decipher pitches and location at the same time. And when you do swing, being on time means you catch the ball right where you want to, out front with authority. If you're late, you're fouling a lot of pitches off and you're making bad decisions. There's certain times as a hitter where you have to start and it's almost uncomfortable you're starting so early.
2-2, and he had no trouble laying off that. Full count.
Then you click one and you're like, oh, that's when I need to start, and it all just kind of sinks in.
Matt Wieters on deck. Base runners needed, bottom of the order. And Zimmerman to right. Brandon Dixon there. There is activity in the Nats bullpen with Jimmy Cordero indicating that Suero may not hit here. We'll see. Might depend on what Matt Wieters does.
Got a good fastball. We saw it the other night, 98 miles an hour. He's not afraid to throw it.
Matt Wieters pop up to Suarez at third, first time up. And that's a 2-hopper right to Joey Votto. Wander Suero stays. For every Nationals walk this year, CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Washington, 408 of them for over $20,000. Take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. CareFirst would love you to go for a walk. Wander Suero 0 for 1 as a big league hitter. And this one for Joey Votto, using his mitt for shade. Ball foul when he catches it. Nats go quickly. Bottom 5. Reds 6-1, game 1. 150 ERA in 4 starts against Cincinnati. And look who's pitching for the Redlegs. It's former Met Matt Harvey. He has started 15 games career against the Nats, 3-6 with a 3.38. That's our nightcap. Coverage begins. Nats extra pregame at 6:30.
I remember when Matt Harvey owned Bryce Harper, and now Bryce Harper owns Matt Harvey. That whole thing's kind of switched around. The Nats and Braves rained out on July 21st. Do you remember that? I don't, but 80s night's going to be made up. That's presented by Budweiser, Tuesday, August 7th, 1:05. So it's kind of like Juan Soto's first home run on the makeup game when he wasn't here, and then did it count for the makeup game? Follow me there. Visit nationals.com. The leg warmers will be here. It's the first game of a split doubleheader, so 80s night. Right now, Bob has his leg warmers on.
Yeah, 80s night at 1:05. I like it. Wander Suero, 16 pitches, 12 strikes. Billy Hamilton, fly ball to right, and a bouncer to short, on which Trey Turner made a fine play, and Hamilton turns around to the left side for the first time today. As FP mentioned earlier, a little better from the left side, 231. Billy Hamilton's all-time highest batting average for a full season in the big leagues was 2 years ago when he hit 260. Career on base percentage coming into this season, 298. Bats behind the pitcher a lot, and he'll guide one left side. Trey Turner might jump and throw again, and the ball bounces in front of Ryan Zimmerman, who tried to swipe it.
Yeah, the key with a fast runner for younger players is to be quick but not be in a hurry. And I think there was a little trouble on the jump exchange there with Trey, and that caused the ball to go in the dirt. If you look at the exchange from glove to hand one more time, there was just a little hesitation, and Billy Hamilton can fly. And did you just say that 260 is the highest he's ever hit?
Yeah.
I mean, with that kind of speed, if he bunted every single at-bat all year, I feel like he could hit 270.
They gave him a hit on that.
If he really honed that craft and worked on it every single day and spent hours and hours and hours on bunting the baseball, whether it was to second, to third, maybe even shortstop. You've seen guys square early and push it to shortstop. If Billy Hamilton could perfect that, he'd hit 260 in his sleep. He should bunt twice a game with that kind of speed.
Couldn't agree more.
I mean, if he could perfect it like Brett Butler used to and really worked on it, he'd be a 300 hitter.
How many bunt base hits for Billy Hamilton this year? 3.
And it wouldn't matter where Rendon's playing or where Zimmerman's playing. If you can perfect the art of it and kill the baseball and slide your hand on the end of the bat and create that dead ball off the bat with that speed, you'd have 2 hits a game.
Billy Hamilton running 23 out of 27, 4th highest total in the league. There he goes. Weeder's a bullet, but it's high. Hamilton stays wrapped around the bag, and that's his 24th.
He just said something to Trey after he stole it, like, maybe I'm coming to get you, big boy. Trey with 30 stolen bases.
But FP, in the last minute and a half, a microcosm of what Billy Hamilton could be. And this ball hit out to center off the bat of Peraza. Harper had to go back. Hamilton speeding to third. A one-hop throw. Runner too fast, and he's over there with one out. So Billy Hamilton's trying to manufacture a 7th run for the Reds. It's up to Phillip Ervin whether he can do that.
I mean, good throw by Bryce, but Billy just outruns this. And man, can he fly. When he gets to third base and he slides, he's still going full speed. He just kind of pops up all in one motion. Who wins between Billy Hamilton and Trey Turner in a race?
That's a great question. Big day for Phillip Ervin. Opposite field single. Homer over the left field bullpen for 3 runs and a walk. So the Nats infield in here with 1 out. Big swing almost to a knee. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, you got to go contact play right here if you're Jim Riggleman with Billy Hamilton at third. If you're in the Nats infield, you got to, like I just said, be quick, but don't be in a hurry.
Young hitter trying to hit it a mile. Let's see what he does to adjust on 1 and 2. That's ball 2. Reds box. Peraza 3 for 4. We mentioned Ervin's day. RBI single. Suarez in the 4th. And Brandon Dixon 2 RBIs, a grounder and a homer. 2-2, and he gets the bat on the ball. That sends Adam Eaton back, who has to do everything he has to make the play. And Billy Hamilton will manufacture a 7-1 lead for Cincinnati.
Well, I'll tell you what, Phillip Ervin's been impressive. We didn't see him first time when we were in Cincinnati, but he has got a tremendous approach, a nice swing, and the ball's flying off his bat here today. That's another good at-bat for him.
Joey Votto 1 for 3. A rare day when he was been called out on strikes twice. Gio got him. Still more walks than strikeouts. And he gets a right-hander for the first time. And he launches one to right. That'll one-hop the sign out there. And Votto into second base. He has 34 extra base hits, and that's his 23rd double. Eugenio Suarez next. First pitch left side, scooped by Rendon. Billy Hamilton speeds the Reds to a run in the 6th. Nats have the top of the order coming up. It's got to start happening pretty quickly. Down by 6. A meet and greet with Max Scherzer. It's presented by Hilton Hotels. Win big with a capital adventure package from Hilton. Visit masson.me/Hilton. At Masson Nationals on Twitter. Check it out.
That was the All-Star game right there.
7-12-0 Reds, 1-3-0 Nats. Top of the order. Anthony DeSclafani has kept Eaton, Turner, and Rendon all off base so far. Adam a fly ball to left, 1 to center, and that is in there. His 70th pitch of the day. Eaton gets a fastball and slaps it to left. Not happy with himself last at bat after another fly ball, so he takes care of that.
All right, Fios by Verizon Expo going to show you Adam Eaton's swing. Little two-seam fastball, just going right with it. Staying on top of the baseball, that's the key to that knock. Watch him keep the barrel above his hands, drive it the other way. 100% fiber optic network, 100% phenomenal. Visit getfios.com.
He had Trey Turner's full attention in the background there in the on-deck circle, so here he comes, trying to get on for the first time. Tried to bunt his way on last time, and DeSclafani made a good play to throw him out. Manny Gonzalez out there just now putting the headgear back on. I was watching him in between innings. They were giving him water and trying to keep him cooled off and everything, and it's a very warm day for the umpires, especially the guy wearing all that gear behind the plate. So Soto and Murphy put double single together, followed by a Zimmerman grounder in the second. The Nats only run. Eaton just got hit number 4. Soto's been great, double single and the run. And there's Turner reaching. Ball dropped by Peraza trying to make the exchange. Adam Eaton had stopped and looked like he was ducking a potential throw. It'll be a 4-6.
Yeah, hard to assume that they're going to drop this, so Eaton kind of pulls up because he didn't want to be tagged, and when he pulled up to not be tagged, the fact that Peraza dropped it, it's all he had to do is walk over and step on the bag. But right there, Adam's hitting the brakes because he's thinking that Herrera's going to tag him, and it's hard to start it up again.
Rendon is next. He'll turn on the first one, and after a step back, in comes Ervin, 2 down. That'll bring in Bryce. Fly ball to center, right center actually, caught by Hamilton, and a base on balls today.
Nats are 36-31 in night games and 19-22 in day games. And what I'm taking from that, that's a lot of day games. Doesn't that seem like more day games than normal?
I think baseball has scheduled more weekday day games on getaway days.
Yeah.
And of course, the first week or so of the season, it seems like you play nothing but day games. Like the Nats that weekend in Cincinnati. Then you come home and have opening day, and usually then there's a Saturday day game. Harper drills one out to left center. Bryce checks in with his first base hit. Turner stops at second. And here's the guy you would want at the plate based on how this day is going. Juan Soto, who's 2 for 2.
If you're pull conscious and you're spinning out toward your own dugout, you don't hit this. That's Bryce Harper's very balanced, very still. Look at the finish on the swing. So the fact that he's hitting the ball to left, it's how he's doing it. He's staying in the at-bat. He's staying perfectly still and quiet with the head, and he's staying balanced. I mean, the pull side hits are just going to come, but if he's getting base hits to left, that's when he's at his very best.
I was just looking at the first week and a half of the season. The Nats played 2 night games in the first week and a half. Based on opening day Cincinnati, on to Atlanta with a getaway day game, and then home for 3 straight day games. And here we are 4 months later. Nats are 2 over 500, trying to stage a huge comeback.
Because in April it's so cold. You play a night game, you might freeze to death and have to eat your teammates.
1 ball, 1 strike on an uncertain swing. In the air to left. It'll play for Phillip Ervin. So the Nats strand a couple. They've left 4 today, and now it's on to the late innings. 7-1 Cincinnati. Got the leather, got the cap, and here we go. Top 7. Braves are coming. 3-day 4-way game series. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So split doubleheader Tuesday, 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock, just like today. 7 p.m. game on Wednesday, and then a 1 o'clock matinee on the 9th before the Nationals head off to Chicago and St. Louis. Brandon Dixon. 3rd full inning of work now for Wander Suero. Misses with the off speed. 30 pitches coming into this inning, 22 strikes in 2 1/3.
They're doing a nice job.
Yeah, the Billy Hamilton infield hit, the only thing between him and pitching scoreless ball so far.
Yeah, when Davey brought him in the 4th, I was thinking if he can get him to the 7th, that's a quality outing for Wander Suero.
Guys are finding, and this was Dixon, his first man back in the 4th. When they start the swing, the ball's not where they think it is by the time the bat gets into the zone. Enough in on the hands of the hitter for a grounder to Turner. Trey takes care of that. 1 out, 7th inning. Washington area Toyota dealers helping children and their families. Every time a Nats pitcher registers a K, it's $44 to the children's in at the National Institutes of Health. Thank you, Toyota. Catcher, Kurt Casale.
Yeah, Wander Suero looks a lot more relaxed this time around. Like he's been there, done it, starting to just pound the strike zone with that cutter. Haven't seen too many curveballs from him, but mostly just fastballs and cutters. But he's looked sharp here today, real sharp.
3 strikeout inning, scoreless in that 25-4 game. On Tuesday night against the Mets, didn't give up a run. And a base hit to right. Number 13 for the Reds today. Their backup catcher, Casale, has a 2-for-4 day, and Dilson Herrera is next. inside edge. I mean, that's unhittable. 1-1, nothing you can do with that. Maybe bust your bat and ground one to Rendon. Staying in there, another strike. Nissan pitch cast.
Yeah, that front door cutter right there. Down the zone, trying to get a grounder.
Not a comfortable at bat here for Dilson Herrera. There's Jimmy Cordero up again. Nats pitcher due to bat fourth in the bottom of the seventh. And this one popped up. Trey Turner calls off Daniel Murphy. 2 down. DeSclafani, who's trying to go 7 innings for the first time since July 9th. In fact, the only time he's done it this year, will step in and hit prior to his 7th inning of work.
Pretty good rip right there.
0-2 pitch. He took a base hit up the middle in the second.
He's hitting 208, which pretty good for a pitcher.
Had him all locked up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll see how this game and tonight's game goes, but Wander Suero might have just rescued the bullpen for the entire weekend. Nats have 9 outs with which to work. Daniel Murphy is first, Zimmerman and Wieters to follow. And Daniel 1 for 2, base hit to left, double play ball second time. And about to throw his 81st pitch of the day, Anthony DeSclafani. He gave up 5 hits, 1 run, walked 2, struck out 3 in that previous 7-inning outing at Cleveland. A 7-5 Reds win back in early July. Murphy trying to serve another hit to left. So Mason Williams in there in right field, and Brandon Dixon moves into second. Peanuts back home, weekend series, August 24th through the 26th. So Saturday night, in a couple weeks, Tanner Roark and American Eagle Team USA Championship clinch bobblehead. Remember when Tanner pitched so well in a WBC? Coco Crisp will be at the ballpark Sunday. He'll be inducted into the Potomac Baseball Hall of Fame.
All right. One of the best names in the history of the game, I feel like.
Two and Murphy out to left center with another hit. This one will plug the gap. Digging for 2. Every day, better and better. And now hitting around .420 his last 20 ball games.
And pull the hands in and just shoot the ball to left center field. So the first knock was Wade Boggs style to left. This one left center. And we said it on the road trip, hits his back. 339 at home this year, and he is absolutely raking right now, using the whole field.
Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 2 with an RBI grounder. And Ryan looking for something out over the plate, got locked up by a pitch in on him.
I think the biggest challenge for Ryan moving forward is if he doesn't play every day, to keep his mechanics and his timing locked in. You know, the luxury of playing every single game is you can make adjustments at bat to at bat, pitch to pitch when you have a lot of moving parts. And sometimes that becomes a challenge if you play one of every 3 games or every other day. You don't have that luxury to time up a pitcher and get that leg kick up and the hands moving and all the parts in sync consistently. So moving forward, probably something to keep an eye on for.
Nationals facing another right-hander tonight, Matt Harvey. We'll see what Davey Martinez does with his first baseman. That's inside, a good take, 3-2 to Zimmerman.
You remember his first night back, he had a rough one, right? A couple tough plays in the field, I think 0 for 4, and then Davey stuck with him, put him in there the next day, and he got 3 hits.
Tapper, left side on the charge, Suarez. Close play, out, and Murphy remains at second.
Yeah, not sure how Murphy's at second on this one. This is an easy read when you're on second. Whenever you see a guy coming in like that, usually just cruise right behind him to third base. But Murph chose the safe route, down by 6. Good hustle by Ryan.
So Matt Wieters is next. And Matt Adams is next after that. He drives one out to left center, but it's coming back to Ervin. He can camp behind it, 2 down. Matt Adams is 0 for 3 career against Anthony DeSclafani, and he'll be called back now. Had there been 2 men on base, Davey was looking for one big swing in a 7-4 game, but now it'll be Wilmer Defoe. Defoe will face DeSclafani for the first time. So 3 1/3 solid for Wander Suero, a run on 3 hits. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 4. Threw 48 pitches, 34 strikes. And a strike to Wilmer. Wandy Peralta, the lefty. David Hernandez, the right-hander. DeSclafani is 4 pitches away from 100. One and two.
Wilmer's a guy you like to get in there in a day game because he's energy, especially after a night game. Maybe your team's dragging a little bit. Fire him in the lineup. Maybe he sparks you a little bit.
Boy, battle there, D, boy.
He always seems to enjoy playing. He has fun. He's fun to watch play too. And maybe that's what Davey's thinking about right now. Get Wilmer in there, and maybe he does something to ignite everybody. Who knows?
Way inside.
Pitch number 100 coming. Wilmer trying to make it a 7-2 game or more.
Two out to center. Billy Hamilton didn't have to go anywhere. The Nats get a leadoff double, strand their 5th runner. Nationals baseball on Masson, brought to you by Lexus. Experience amazing. And by American Standard Heating and Air. Find your local independent American Standard Heating and Air dealer at Mid-Atlantic Comfort.
That's Wander Suero, 3 1/3. Gave up just 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 4 Reds, didn't walk anybody. Threw 48 pitches, 34 for strikes, and more importantly, all those numbers saved the bullpen for game 2. So a nice outing for Wander Suero. He was ready to pitch today. Nice job.
Jimmy Cordero, 2nd appearance. 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 runs on Thursday. Jose Peraza, who will bat in this inning, got him for a couple of runs on a double. He faces Billy Hamilton first. And Billy, that infield hit last time that led to a Cincinnati run back in the 6th. One and two. And a curveball. Billy Hamilton leaned back and the ball got the inside edge. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast.
Yeah, you gotta like what you're seeing from Jimmy Cordero. I mean, his major league debut, throwing 98, nasty slider right there, 85 miles an hour.
First big league strikeout.
Need many more where that came from with that kind of stuff.
.43 innings at Syracuse, 47 strikeouts, just 39 hits. There's Jose Peraza. And this ball driven to right. It'll back up Adam Eaton, and he stops cold right there. So more on the bullpen. Here's Dan.
Bob, we haven't offered an update on Sean Doolittle in a little while, so figure now's a decent time for that. Doolittle on the disabled list with a stress reaction in his foot. Got an MRI a couple days ago that showed that the injury hasn't gotten any worse, which is a good sign. I guess the negative there is that it hasn't gotten significantly better, but Doolittle's still in a boot, still progressing, going through daily workouts and things like that. The Nationals will take things slowly with him, but they hope that maybe by the end of the week he might be able to start throwing again.
Yeah, I talked to Sean. He has been staying in shape, doing all kinds of weightlifting so that when he comes back, that's all he has to do is get on the mound and throw. They want to make sure he's 100% because if you compensate for that foot with your arm, you can get hurt. But he's been doing everything he can to stay in shape so that when that thing heals 100%, he's ready to rock and roll quick style. We saw him, Carp, remember the other day, doing shadow drills on the line with one leg in the air.
Yeah.
Trying to strengthen that other leg. So he's been working real hard behind the scenes so that when he comes back, it'll be real quick.
Philip Ervin, the hitter. He's been the Cincinnati hitting star today. 2 hits, a walk, a sac fly. He's driven in 4. Four of his 12 RBIs now on the year. And he's aboard again. Setting up a Joey Votto at bat here in the 8th. Votto 2 for 4. First inning check swing single the other way. Last time up, pulled a double on a hop to the bullpen fence and right. And this one right at Daniel Murphy. That's it for the Reds in the 8th. That's down to 6 outs now. Top of the order. Straight ahead. And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals.
Do not fall in. You might grow a third arm. 7-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Let's spend some quality time together. Enter the Lexus Home Run Sweepstakes for a chance to win dinner with me. Round trip transportation at Lexus and $250 to spend on some swag. So enter online at LexusHomeRunSweepstakes.com. I did it last year, Carp, and Lexus is out of New York, so they just picked the winner out of a hat. The winner last year was Adam Eaton's cousin, Sherry Carmichael. So we had dinner together. We talked about Adam all night. It was awesome. So it's a fun time. They pay for dinner, and we ran up a huge tab. It was cool. So enter it right now. We'll have a good time together.
Huge tab. Shocker as we go bottom 8.
It's on Lexus. Let's go.
Here's Adam Eaton. David Hernandez, first pitch, and it gets Adam Eaton. Choose a winning team for your vehicle. Jiffy Lube for value and convenience. They don't fix dents. Hope Adam doesn't have one. JiffyLubeDC.com. 36th game for the 33-year-old veteran from Sacramento. Diamondbacks, Angels last year. Been in the big league since 2009 when he debuted as a starter. 19 starts that year for the Orioles.
We got fastball 93, slider 85, curveball and changeup to complement those 2 pitches.
.6'3", 245.
See if the Nats can make a little run right here. Anybody else on the mound kind of makes you feel good when you're having trouble against one guy all day.
Yeah, DeSclafani had a good day. 1 run, 6 hits, 7 innings. Walked 1. Struck out a total of 200 pitches, 66 strikes. And Trey. Able to just kind of eyeball that one low and away. Eaton had a short lead at first. Big guns coming up. Two and two. Trey reaching. We'll get you going at 6:30 with Nets Extra pregame for the nightcap. First pitch 7:05, Jeremy Hellickson, and then Matt Harvey for the Reds. Good crowd today, 32,687 paid. Reaching again is Turner. Swing and a miss for the first out, 8th inning. Rendon 1 for 4 career against Hernandez. Three balls in the air for Anthony today. A couple of fly balls to right. Liner to left last time up. And this one out to center. Billy Hamilton absolutely straight away for the second out. And Bryce Harper bats with a man aboard, 2 down here in the 8th. Bryce, a fly ball first time, a walk and a base hit, and he took that single the other way 2 innings ago. So he's hit safely in 8 of his last 9 games now. 12 for 29. Shift on. He's going to hit that with authority the other way, and it's off the sliding Phillip Ervin. Eaton will be held at third, and Harper into second. Phillip Ervin came over to get a piece of it, but that ball was absolutely plastered to left center.
Yeah, another 2-hit game for Bryce, 19th double of the season. We talked about him going the other way. I mean, if he keeps doing this, it's going to be raining hits for Bryce Harper in the second half. I mean, that's just a beautiful swing. When he was MVP, this is what he did on a daily basis. And if you tried him in, he'd shoot you out to the pull side. So that has to be a hit. It has to be a double. So another 2-hit game for Bryce Harper. Hustling into second base. He is locked in, folks. More than he was in April right now. That's a pretty swing.
Soto 2 for 3.
What do we got here?
Home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez out in front of the plate. Approaching the pitcher, stopped and returned.
You tell him to come set? It's time for 4 drives of the game. How about Juan Soto and his 2-strike approach today? First time up, double in the gap, left center field, spread out. Look at him. Keep that barrel above the hands and drive it into the gap in left center field. Second time up with 2 strikes, a little curve ball from DeSclafani. One of the only curveballs he threw all day. A base hit for Juan Soto. So 2 for 3, both knocks with 2 strikes.
Off-speed pitch, he was out ahead. Votto to Hernandez. And the Nats are done in the 8th. They've stranded 7 today. Reds 7, Nats 1. In the first 4. And with Jimmy Cordero about to try to pitch another scoreless inning. Game 2 against the Reds tonight, 7:05. Jeremy Hellickson, Matt Harvey. And then tomorrow, our traditional 1:30 Sunday game, Tanner Roark and Luis Castillo. Day off Monday, and then another split doubleheader. This time it's the Braves at 1 and 7. Wednesday, night game against Atlanta. And then a day game on Thursday, getaway day before Wrigley and Busch. Top of the 9th, and Jimmy Cordero up and into a Eugenio Suarez. "11 pitches, 5 strikes to get 3 outs with a walk last inning." And 3 in a row in there.
I love the way Suarez just kind of does that little knee tuck. It's something that as a hitter you can keep consistent. It's not a big leg kick. He just takes that front knee and keeps, watch his hips close up. Now he's ready to uncoil.
And he took one just off the outer edge. Second walk by Cordero, and Suarez on for the 3rd time.
I think my favorite part about baseball is batting stances, and how they're so unique and everybody has a different one. And it's whatever kind of gives you the confidence at the plate and gets you ready to hit. And it's just so amazing to me, the difference in it. Yeah, everyone's wearing the same uniform, but everybody's stance is different. You know, maybe deliveries too with pitchers, but as a kid I was always infatuated by the batting stance. And guys will start in so many different weird ways, but they all get to the same point. When they're ready to fire the hands, we could freeze frame 10 different hitters, and they'll probably all look the same when they're just getting ready to swing the bat. But they all start different.
Dixon all in on a 2-0.
Like Suarez is, for instance. That's one of the most comfortable stances I've seen all year. He's standing straight up and down. He's just tucking his front knee and going. You know, you think of comfort. You think of Anthony Rendon at third base. He has a comfortable stance. Joey Votto too.
All right, I'm sure Davey Martinez wants to see a second inning full of strikes here. Walked one batter, gone 3-1 here. And Davey has had to get Sammy Solis up. Two walks, nobody out, top of the 9th. And Derek Lilliquist will make a quick visit. Turner dropped it and then threw on to Zimmerman with 2 runners moving up.
See, that might be a byproduct of a couple of walks, because now all of a sudden you're sitting out there and you're not on your toes. We talk about guys pounding the strike zone, working quick, and as a defender, I'm ready. Well, when you're walking guys and you go ball 1 to the next guy, maybe you're not thinking strike and you're not thinking a ball's going to be hit to you. That ball did take a tricky hop on Trey, the last one. It was bouncing high and it stayed down. But that's one Davey Martinez was thinking was going to be 2.
Mason Williams, who came in to play right field, is the next batter. And Sammy Solis will get the call. Inning and a third. 3 walks by Jimmy Cordero his second time around. Here comes Sammy. And Sammy Solis will try to keep them from doing so. 29-year-old right-hander, 46th appearance. 29 hits, 34 strikeouts in 31 innings.
Yeah, lefty's hitting 274, righty's just 211. Trying to get a couple outs here in the 9th.
Mason Williams, the hitter. He was 0 for 4 right field starting role against Max and company here on Thursday. Lefty-lefty matchup, infield in. Not all the way in. As I mentioned, Scooter Gennett was in the lineup yesterday against Gio. 2 games today and tonight. Got this afternoon off until right now. He's on deck. That's for the pitcher.
Hey, he's hitting 291 against lefties this year, so Jim Riggleman doesn't care that Solis is in the game.
Sammy gets it by Williams. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And this one out to center. Bryce Harper, momentum coming in. Suarez will not go anywhere. Bryce with a bullet home. And that's the second out here in the 9th. Scooter Gennett 1 for 3 career against Sammy Solis.
Yeah, 34 for 117 against lefties this year. There's nothing worse than pitch hitting in game 1 of a doubleheader and being 0 for 1, because you go in the clubhouse for like 2 hours thinking you're 0 for 1 for game 2 if you're playing already, and you haven't even started. And there's nothing better on the other side of that coin. You're already 1 for 1 before the second game starts.
.94 for a strike. Snappy breaking ball right there. It's 1-2.
Isn't that what Randy Johnson used to call his slider, Mr. Snappy?
Snappy?
Yeah, I think so.
Some hitters used to call it buckle my knees. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 down.
And are you supposed to name your own pitches? I guess if you're Randy Johnson, you can. I feel like that's giving yourself a nickname.
Fastball called third strike. Going to the bottom of the ninth, the Nats need a huge one. Murphy, Zimmerman, Wieters upcoming. Two-hitter, 2 walks, 2 hits, a 3-run homer. Drove in 4 today. Juan Soto a good day. Bryce Harper had a couple of hits for the Nats and a walk. And the Wander Suero gave the bullpen a badly needed respite, because in a ball game like this, the Nationals could have used 4 or 5 pitchers out of that pen. As it turns out, they only had to use 3, and Sammy for the last 2 outs. And here's right-hander Michael Lorenzen.
Now, fastball, slider, cutter, curveball change. Fastball averaging 95. Opponents hitting 250. Off the righty that appears to like doing arms.
26 years of age, Anaheim native.
He can hit too, by the way. One of the better hitting pitchers in baseball. Used to be a starter.
Daniel Murphy 2 for 2 against him. 2 balls, no strikes. Murphy drills one out to left center. Ball tailing back to Ervin.
Well, 3 good at-bats for Murph today. That ball was hit hard.
Johnny Holiday, Ray Knight checking in. Nats Extra post game. 6:30, they'll have Nats Extra pregame for game 2, and then another show after the nightcap is over. Ryan Zimmerman against this righty, 0 for 3, couple of walks.
He's always
1-1.
Well, if you don't figure this one out, you got to throw it away, flush it quick, and be ready for game 2 and think about winning that game and then maybe taking 3 out of 4 tomorrow. But
One out, 2-2 pitch coming. And he'll take the walk.
I don't understand a 3-2 slider up by 6.
Agreed. Third time Ryan's walked against Lorenzen. Matt Wieters is next. And then Matt Adams has stepped to the on-deck circle. Wieters 1 for 2 against Michael Lorenzen. There's Matt. No swing, says Chad Whitson. I have a lefty, Jesus Reyes, who is throwing alongside Lorenzen. And now on a very slow walk by pitching coach Danny Darwin. You'll get Reyes out there, throw a few more. Probably see him face Adams.
Well, you tune them up mechanically with a couple words, and you also get the lefty hot out in the bullpen. So you kill two birds with one stone on that trip. Hopefully that's what they're thinking. And Matt Wieters is thinking big things here in a 2-0 count.
Pitch was up in the zone, a little bit to the outside half. And now it's Amir Garrett. Yeah, that's the lefty, pardon me. Reyes, a right-hander, just called up yesterday. And Wieters will pop it up to the left side. Suarez and Peraza out. Third baseman grabs it, 2 down. So the Reds are up by 6. Matt Adams about to be announced. Matt Adams against Lorenzen Carrero for 1. Reds moved into a shift with Peraza up the middle. And a good changeup diving down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nats a strike away from falling 6 back of the Phillies, 5.5 back of the Braves. Swing and a miss, and this one is over. Reds scored 3 in the first 2 innings, 6 in the first 4 innings. Never looked back, and they beat the Nats, breaking an 8-game losing streak to Washington by a 7-1 score. For FP and Dan, Bob Carpenter. We'll see you tomorrow, or rather tonight, at 7:05 as the Nats and the Reds play the second game of this split doubleheader. Jeremy Hellickson and Matt Harvey. Coverage begins Nats Extra pregame, then 6:30. Nats Extra postgame begins right now. This has been a presentation of Masson. Johnny and Ray are straight ahead. We'll see you a little later tonight. And from the ballpark after the Reds win today, so long for just a while.